On my journey, I was so lonely. Then I found the Father, cause I was hungry with His word. Hey family, what it do? What it do? What it do? If anybody is interested in knowing the name of that song right there, it is called The Best Relationship by Fred and the Geniuses. Okay? Best Relationship. He got some other nice songs too. That's the one, that's the guy that sing the song Chilling on the Sabbath. Those are the same guys. Okay, family, I got a message to share with everybody, and it's called Israelite Family, Let's Not Be Influenced by Evil in the World. Let's not be influenced by evil in the world, because we are the righteousness of our Father, Yahushua Mashiach, our Messiah. So the enemies of darkness, they know this. They know who we are. You look around our country here in America, okay, and you see how much violence is going on in the inner cities where the Israelites are. And a lot of our people don't know that they're Israelites. But you see a lot of violence. You know why, family? It's because the enemies of darkness, they know that our Father will soon send our Messiah, Yahushua Mashiach, back to take over these nations, to take over this world. And they know, these enemies of darkness, they know who the children of Yah are. They know who the 12 tribes of Israel are. In every nation on this earth and every island, they know who we are. Okay? And they know the word of Yah says that at the end of Esau is the beginning of Jacob. So right now, evil spirits and Satan are leading the nations in this world, in Esau and the Psalm 83 nations. Satan is leading these nations by these people who are Esau and the Psalm 83 nations. And they know that their reign is coming to a close. And they know that Yahushua Mashiach will be reigning in the midst of the Israelites in Jacob's kingdom. So the evil spirits are mad. They are very mad. They will come against any people in this world, but their number one targets that they hate are the apple of Yah's eye. And that will be the righteousness of Yahushua Mashiach. Okay? They target us the most. They use people from other nations to come against us. That's why we have so many haters from people from these Psalm 83 nations. They're being led by Satan. Okay? And that's why we get so much backlash in this world, because the evil spirits know that we will be leaders with Yahushua Mashiach in Jacob's kingdom at the end of Esau's reign. And so they don't want to give up their leadership in this world, Satan and the evil spirits. So they come at us. And it says in the book of Job that the spirits of these Nephilim giants, that's who's causing all the havoc. And they're under the leadership of Satan. And Mastema, the chief leader of the Nephilim giants. That spirit, Mastema, he was the chief leader of the Nephilim. Okay, so a tenth part of those spirits of the Nephilim giants are still in the earth, and it was hundreds of thousands of them. And their leader is Satan. And so they come at people in the world, but especially the Israelites. And it says in the book of Job, not Job, but Enoch, that they do battle. They will come against the children of men and women. They'll do battle. They cause trouble, and they hunger but take no food. Okay, and they thirst too, but they don't drink water and they don't eat food. But they're always hungry and thirsty, and they're always seeking a place to rest. It says that in the 66. Okay, so they cause trouble, they do battle, and they afflict. This is what they do. And they are behind most of the violence in this world. And they get in the flesh of people. That's how they get you. When people are always in the carnal nature, desires, our will, and our own emotions, that's the flesh. That's the carnal nature. That's where they operate. Okay? So in this message, family, Israelite family, let's not be influenced by the evil in this world. The evil in this world is mostly the spirits of those Nephilim giants. Okay? When people come at you, and sometimes you can just all of a sudden look at a person and they look, you don't even know them, never seen them before, and they're looking at you with an evil, mean, hard look. That's the spirit in that person looking at you like that. That's what it is. They get inside of people so they can do their damage. They need a body to express their own personalities in this world, family. So be careful. You know, be careful. Like I mentioned not too long ago about this co-worker of mine, I knew exactly that he had been moved by spirits all along, because I know the symptoms and what to look for when people are being influenced by these spirits. When he said, you know, come on outside, just because I asked him to put in some earbuds because he didn't like my singing. And so I walked out behind. I'm thinking real fast. I'm always thinking fast. I'm thinking like if I choose not to, then the spirit gonna make him think that I'm a punk. And then he ain't gonna never leave me alone, because he was always doing little stuff. You know what I'm saying? But as long as he didn't put his hands on me, I'm cool. I could put up with stuff. I just tune people out. Like walking in the spirit is being aware of things that are around us, but not being moved by it. So I just kept walking in the spirit until he asked me to come outside. So I walked out there. I'm thinking like, if I don't come, the spirit gonna keep, you know, using him to harass me, to just bother me, just annoy me. You know what I'm saying? And so I went out there and, you know, what's up? So I knew I also had in my mind that, you know, I was gonna show him some street, because he never seen no street in me. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey, it's cool now. But I wasn't gonna hit him, you know what I'm saying, because I know he was being moved by a spirit. You got to be wise, family, and not let these spirits use people to provoke you, you know what I'm saying, to do any violence against anybody else. But if people trying to do violence against you, you gotta protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect yourself. As far as going out starting stuff, bothering people, no, that's not what the righteousness of Yahushua HaMashiach, that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? But we are always targets in this world because of who we are. Not just because of the color of our skin, it's because we are the apple of our Father's eye. Okay? And so thanks everybody for praying for me. Thank you so much. I mean, I was typing that in the post in the community part of the channel as I was sitting in my car at the job before I punched in. And so not long after I started working, you know, I was like, wow, Father, the prayers, you're answering their prayers already, because I feel a whole lot better. And I haven't felt any more throbbing in my arms since early this morning. So thanks a lot, family. Thanks a lot, every last one of you who prayed for me. And if you have a prayer request, you know, put it in the post somewhere in the community part of the channel, and so everybody can, you know, we should start doing that. If anybody have a prayer request, when I was assistant pastor, when I went before the church, that's what I would always do every Sunday morning. You know, anybody got any prayer requests? There's nothing wrong with it. You know, now we walking in righteousness, we keeping Yah's commandments in the holy Sabbath day holy. We can still pray for each other. You know, ain't nothing wrong with praying for each other. We are a family. We are the body of Yahushua HaMashiach. We are his church, family. Okay, so we are the saints. We are the elect of Yah. Okay, so we can pray for each other. You know what I'm saying? You got to going through something in your personal life. And I thought about you guys. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got family all over. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, you know, the Ruach led me to do that. Or if it was just my own spirit led me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So thanks a lot for everybody who prayed for me, because somebody come to my mind, and it was my mother in 1999. You know, she was living in Indiana, and I moved up here, but I called my mother like 3 or 4 times on the weekends. We just talked, you know what I'm saying? We always had a close relationship, you know, and she told me I looked like her dad, so she would call me Papa. You know, but anyway, and then I got a call from one of my sisters in Indiana and said that Mama passed away in February of 1999. I'm like, for what? From what? And they said she didn't tell nobody. I was just talking to her on the phone 2 days ago. She didn't tell me she had no cancer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man. But my mother, her life was in Elohim at least 10 years before she passed. So she's up there in paradise. You know what I'm saying? But I had a whole lot of feelings going on. You know, I wasn't saved yet. I was sad. I was angry. I was mad. I felt like let down. I was like, because if I'd known my mother had cancer, I would have left here and went down there to be by her side. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't tell the family that she was in the hospital. And they said that, you know, her eyes are closed, but she can hear them. She wasn't in no coma or nothing. But that's when they found out. But she kept this from me and the rest of my family, you know, until she was in the hospital and died of it. And so I was thinking like, wow, maybe if she'd have let us all know, we could have prayed for her. You know what I'm saying? Because the word says, you know, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. So when you're going through some family, don't just keep it to yourself. You know, let the family know, you know what I'm saying? We all serve the same Yah. And we can all put our prayers together up to that, send our prayers up to Yah for whatever you're going through. And like the word says, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. And I thank every last one of you again for praying for my situation. What happened, and I'm going to get with the message, family. You know, sometime over last weekend, I watched that brother Big Judas video, and he was saying that Yah had told him what 3-eye Atlas means. And I was so elated with joy. Because, you know, a lot of thoughts was going through my mind, family. You know, for instance, like, okay, now, before our Messiah comes back, he gave us signs to look for in the scriptures. You know, wars and rumors of wars, and men's hearts failing them for fear, and famines, and, you know, which is food shortages and pestilence, diseases, and stuff like that. And so these things will go more frequent, you know, as it get closer to our Father sending him back. So I'm thinking like, okay, now Israel, you know, the Gentiles only came up to the top because our people fell. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we went to the tail. We suffered the 400 plus years of our curses. That's been fulfilled also. But their reign also has been fulfilled. The times of the Gentiles has been fulfilled. So they've reached their fulfillment of being on the top. At the same time, we've reached our fulfillment of being under the curses. So now a switch is soon to be coming. And the only thing that's going to take Esau and the Gentiles' kingdom down is when our Father Yah sends our Messiah Yahushua Mashiach back down to do it. It's going to be something that comes out of the sky to take them down. That's going to be the only thing to do it. It's going to be Yah. And he's going to send our Messiah, and he's going to be the one to do it. And now you got all this stuff happening in the cosmos now. With 3-eye Atlas, Amur, and this other one, I forget, let's start with a B. But anyway, you got these things coming from interstellar space. And I'm watching different videos on YouTube, and they saying this thing, like that 3-eye Atlas, it gave off a signal that those old telescopes that they got out there, like Hubble and another one, they didn't pick it up, but that James Webb is the newest, most expensive telescope the U.S. got up there. It picked up a signal in 3 parts of that telescope. And they said that 3-eye Atlas thing gave off a signal equivalent to 1 million gigawatts. 1 million gigawatts of power. And then they also said the whole earth with everything on it together couldn't produce that much power. The whole earth couldn't. You know, it would take a long time for the power of earth to even produce that many gigawatts. But this 3-eye Atlas thing did it in an instant. And then they say they saying that it's been traveling for billions and millions of years to finally get to our solar system. But not necessarily. You know, they've been clocking it at 152,000 miles per hour. Then you got some channels say 137 thousand miles per hour. But at any rate, okay, now they said that this thing did something that's they didn't even think it was possible to do. You know, it has made some moves where it traveled like 13 times faster than the speed of light. And the speed of light, to the scientists' knowledge, they thought that was the fastest thing that ever it was. It's the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second. But this 3-eye atlas thing, it did some stuff, and they calculated that it went 13 times faster than the speed of light. So I'm like, wow, if that thing can move that fast, then that don't mean it's been traveling for no millions and billions of years. It probably just took off, you know, at 13,000 times the speed of light when they first saw it, and it just slowed down. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean it's been traveling no billions of years. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, I mean, this thing is capable of, you know, they're saying it's casting off carbon dioxide or something like that. You know, but it's like it's doing some very unconventional things that comets and asteroids just don't do. You know what I'm saying? But see, I'm excited because, you know, the brother said that the Most High said that the 3-eye atlas was about the 12 tribes that are scattered around the world in every nation and every island. So if it's about us, I'm excited because I'm thinking about the second Exodus, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And this thing is, when it gets on the other side of the sun, you know, it's a whole lot of possibilities of what it probably could slow down all the way. And I think they're just plotting to make their move, you know, because the leaders in the countries, they said they think it's sent the signal, but they haven't responded. They're pondering between themselves, like they don't know what kind of signal to send back and what language. You know what I'm saying? They was always trying to find something else out there. Now something else is out there, and it's like it's trying to give them a signal, and they're too afraid. You know why they're afraid? Because they know that their time and their reign and ruling in this earth is up. That's what they see. We feel in our spirit, the children of Yah, we feel in our spirit that he's about to send our Messiah back soon. I feel that. I really do. And they got to be feeling the opposite in their spirit, the ones who've had their feet on our necks for over 400 or 500 years. You know what I'm saying? They got to be feeling the opposite. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad thing that 3-eye atlas is up there. Only for those who have stole our dainties and our perks and gave it all to all nations of people around the world. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it's like they all failed the test, most of them. But anyway, that thing, when it get on the other side of the sun, it could slow down. You know what I'm saying? It could pop back from the side that it came, transformed, you know, not looking like a large rock no more, you know, just transform into what it really is. And if it can fly 13 times faster than the speed of light, then it can get from the sun. I mean, the sunlight comes from the sun to the earth, 93 million miles in 8 minutes. But if this thing can fly 13 times faster than the speed of light, it could get here in a second. You know what I'm saying? So I truly feel, and I truly believe that we ain't gonna be done with this 3-eye atlas thing, you know, just in a few months' time or something like that. I think that we are getting close to our Messiah coming back, and he's rounding, he's preparing the troops, those mighty, you know, I think this thing actually is spirit, this 3-eye atlas thing, but it has manifested itself in the natural. Because it's gonna, when it comes close to the sun, y'all, it's coming inside of the planet of Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun in our solar system, family. Say like my head is the sun, and then my fist is Mercury. 3-eye atlas is gonna come inside of Mercury and get real close to the sun. So the heat of the sun don't even affect it. I think that's actually something spiritual, but it has manifested itself. See, the Bible speaks of two kinds of flesh. Like we have celestial flesh, Fish have celestial flesh. It's different kind of terrestrial flesh. We have terrestrial flesh. Fish, birds, animals, they all have terrestrial flesh. It's slightly different, but it's all still terrestrial flesh. We need blood and bones, and you know what I'm saying? We need to eat to rejuvenate. That's terrestrial flesh. But the spiritual things, they have celestial flesh. They don't need to eat to rejuvenate. They don't need to sleep. They don't get tired no more. That glorified body they have, they can eat, but just for the pleasure of it. But, it's like, it's glorified. It's forever. They could disappear if they want to, and they could reappear. Case in point, when our Messiah, after he had resurrected, family, okay, now he, when they was all scared of the Jews, the disciples they were all locked in the house, and our Messiah, he just came right through the door, and it scared them. And then, Thomas didn't see him the first time like the other ones did, and he said that he wasn't gonna believe until he seen him, until he could put his hands in the nails and touch his side where the spear was. So our Messiah, he came through the door, so he was a spirit, but he also had celestial flesh, because he let Thomas touch him in his hands and in the side. He had already been up to the Father to be glorified. That's why he let him touch him. Remember when he was had arisen, and Mary and them came to the tomb, and then he said, "Do not touch me, because I have not yet ascended to my Father." So apparently he had went to be glorified by the Father, and then he came back to see his disciples and stuff again. And then after that, since he had been gone up to heaven to be glorified, he came back and they was allowed to touch him. But celestial flesh, it's a solid, you know what I'm saying? But it also could disappear. And I think that's exactly what three-eyed Atlas is. Because there's nothing in the physical realm, like as we know it, could travel faster than the speed of light unless it's spiritual. But spiritual things, like when our Messiah comes back, he's a spirit, and he come back with the angels, they have bodies too. They have bodies too, but they are also a spirit. See, that's the glorified body. That's what I want, family, and that's what a lot of us gonna get. All we gotta do is endure this thing to the end. So when I got so excited, I think I was under spiritual attack. You know what I'm saying? I stopped throbbing in the pit of my left arm, but since y'all prayed for me this morning, it had done that since last weekend. But since I sent you guys the notice in the post community part of my channel, and y'all prayed, I pray that y'all bless every last one of you tremendously, because that was so annoying. No pain or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm binding, rebuking, and praying to y'all, and it was difficult to sleep at times because of that. Just throb like a heartbeat in your arm. Golly, man. But y'all prayers, it hasn't done it anymore since early this morning. And it's about like what? 2:34 now. So let me get with the message. I done talked for 23 minutes and I ain't started in the message yet. So I thank you, Father, y'all, for this day. I thank you, Father, y'all, for all of our people who prayed for me. I ask you to bless every last one of them, Father, and their families and their homes. Thank you, Father, for each and every last one of them. Okay, family, so I'll be always saying, please keep y'all's 10 commandments. They can be found in the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. And I'll start reading in the book of Jubilees. And, Israelite family, let's not be influenced by the evil in this world. And that would be mostly these spirits of these evil Nephilim giants. 10 parts of them are still here. And it was hundreds of thousands of them. Okay, now this is what Noah's sons was dealing with. Okay, so part of this message will be about that. And those spirits, but they don't have control over the righteousness of Yah. They might harass us, but they don't have control over us, because Noah prayed that they never have control over the righteous forever. Okay, so they don't have control over us. But see, I actually also wanted to say this, family, like Donald Trump is talking about sending troops to Chicago. He's already sent troops to DC. And a lot of, like the mayor of Chicago, he's against it. The governor of Illinois, he's against it. But a lot of citizens want it. because it is crazy over there, all those killings, not just talking about Chicago. I think all major cities in the United States should have some troops. If you don't have any criminal intent in your mind, no malice, you shouldn't have a problem with troops being on the street. And I think Yah has put this on President Trump's heart for the simple reason is this. Because he knows that he's going to send a Messiah back, and he wants Israel on chill mode. Because when he comes back, he's destroying all things that are wicked. And that will be people and evil spirits. He's going to get them off the surface of the earth. They're going to be banished from the surface of the earth until 1,000 years. Then those evil spirits will be able to come back with Satan to try to come against the kingdom of Yahushua Mashiach. But the Father Yah is going to send down fire from heaven and destroy them all. That's 1,000 years after the end of Yahushua Mashiach's reign on earth with the Israelites. So I actually believe Yah has put this on President Trump's heart, because if you got troops in cities like Chicago, like the Labor Day weekend, they had 53 shootings, 7 homicides in one weekend. But if you got federal troops in the streets, these gang members, they tough and they're hard, but they ain't no fools. I don't think they'll be trying to commit homicides in front of federal troops. So I believe troops in those cities will curtail crime from happening. I truly believe Yah has put this on Trump's heart to get Israelites that's in the inner cities selling drugs, killing each other, to put them on chill mode, so they could be on chill mode and not be in so much violence by the time he sent our Messiah back. That's what my thoughts say. You know what I'm saying? That's what my thoughts say. And so they could be spared. That's what I truly believe. That's what I truly believe. Because I think, hey, if the troops are down, and then I've heard people say, and from Washington, D.C., there's one sister said, oh, wow, this one sister, she was like, I can drive up at the stoplight and I ain't got to worry about having my windows up. My windows are down. I ain't got to worry about nobody carjacking me. You know what I'm saying? Since the troops been here, it's peaceful now. One brother said, I walked from one side of D.C., excuse me, all the way to the other side of D.C. He said, I ain't smelled no weed. It's peaceful. Thank God for these troops. See, a lot of crime won't happen if the gangsters and stuff, people who about crime, it ain't just the Israelites. The people who got criminal intent and malice in their heart, you see them federal troops, and what you normally would have done easy, I just done it because that's just what you do. You see these troops, you're going to be on chill mode, because that's the case. You got federal troops seeing you commit homicides. A lot of crime will stop, I truly believe, if they got troops in the streets. I truly believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think crime will come down. And these cities been having gang wars and stuff for decades. I mean, the mayors and the governors and stuff, they ain't going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's like something else needs to happen. Just so all the killing can stop. I lost 3 siblings in my hometown of Gary, Indiana. Send some troops down there too. Just let them hang out. Because you got 18-year-olds allowed to have, assault rifles now. They done passed all these laws, you know what I'm saying? Kids with machine guns walking down the streets. I've seen the videos. They got permits to carry. And a lot of them just shooting up the streets. And a lot of communities of people who are innocent in cities like Chicago, in Gary, Indiana, and all the other cities like D.C., a lot of innocent people are happy because the crime has gone down. And the crime in Chicago will go down. I truly believe it'll be just like D.C. Like they said, a lot of crime has gone down since the troops on this. Just all they got to do is be there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get to the message, family. All right? Okay, Jubilees chapter 7. I'll be reading out of Old Testament Pseudepigrapha volume 2. And then I'll be closing out in Lost Scriptures with the secret book of John. Okay. So Jubilees chapter 7, verse 11 and 12. May the Adonai, the Elohim of Shem, be blessed, and may Canaan be his servant. May the Adonai enlarge Japheth, and may the Adonai dwell in the dwelling place of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. Okay. Jumping down to verse 20 to 29. The testament of Noah, avoid fornication, he's telling his sons and his grandsons. Blood, avoid that, blood pollution and injustice. So the testament of Noah, avoid fornication, blood pollution, and injustice. And in the 28th Jubilee, Noah began to command his grandsons with ordinances and commandments and all of the judgments which he knew. And he bore witness to his sons so that they might do justice and cover the shame of their flesh and bless the one who created them and honor father and mother and each one love his neighbor and preserve themselves from fornication and pollution and from all injustice. For on account of these three, the flood came upon the earth, for it was because of the fornication which the watchers, apart from the mandate of their authority, fornicated with the daughters of men and took for themselves wives from all whom they chose and made a beginning of impurity. And they begot sons to Nephilim, and all of them were dissimilar. They all were different looking. Okay? And each one ate his fellow. They were eating each other. The giants killed the Nephil, and the Nephil killed the Eo, and the Eo mankind, and mankind his neighbor. What happened was the Most High, when he finally made a move, he told, certain mighty archangels, he told the angel, according to the book of Enoch, he told the archangel Gabriel to confuse their minds so they can destroy each other. And that's what they did. They started killing each other, eating each other. And all went all the way down to mankind. So the world was just full of wickedness. Just like the world is full of wickedness now, because the spirits of these Nephilim giants are still in the earth. They're still in the earth. Okay, and everyone sold himself in order that he might do injustice and pour out much blood, and the earth was full of injustice. And afterward, they sinned against beasts and birds and everything which moves or walks upon the earth. And they poured out much blood upon the earth, and all the thoughts and desires of men were always contemplating vanity and evil. And the Adonai blotted out everything from the face of the earth on account of the evil of their deeds. And on account of the blood which they poured out in the midst of the land, he blotted out everything. And check this out, family. Now Noah is talking to his children and grandchildren. Check it out. And we were left, I and you, my children, and everything which entered with us into the ark. And behold, I see your deeds before me, that you have not been ones who walked in righteousness, because you have begun to walk in the paths of corruption. And each one of you will be separated from his neighbor, and this one will be jealous of that one. That's what the spirits of these giants do. They make you jealous of each other. You know what I'm saying? They make you envious toward other people. They are behind these feelings that get in your flesh, family, as I continue. Okay, and this one will be jealous of that one. And I see that you will not be together, O my sons, each one with his brother. For I see, and behold, the demons have begun to mislead you and your children. See that? And now I fear for your sakes that after I die, you will pour out the blood of men upon the earth, and you will be blotted out from the surface of the earth. For all who eat the blood of man and all who eat the blood of any flesh will be blotted out, all of them from the earth. Okay, now 29, verse 29. And no man who eats blood or sheds the blood of man will remain upon the earth, and neither seed nor posterity will remain alive for him under heaven. For they will go down into Sheol, that will be hell, and into the place of judgment they will descend, and into the darkness of the depths they will all be removed with a cruel death. Okay, now jumping down to verse 33. Okay, for the land will not be cleansed of the blood which is poured out upon it, because by the blood of one who poured it out will the land be cleansed in all of its generations. Okay, now finally moving on over to Jubilees chapter 9. Jubilees chapter 9. verse 14 and 15. That's chapter 8. Jubilees chapter 9, verse 14 and 15. And this is the curse against violating boundaries. Okay? So, family, these spirits of these giants are still in the world. But like I said before, they don't have control over the righteous. We who have been chosen by Yah, we're walking in the truth, we are awakened. They don't have control over us. But the people who are not the chosen, are not a part of the righteous seed, those spirits that get in your flesh, that's why you hear about so many murders. And, like America, they usually have like 20,000 homicides a year. And I Googled it about some weeks ago, maybe a month and a half or so ago, countries with the most homicide. Brazil, they usually have 40,000 homicides in a year. That's like double what America has. I'm like, wow. And then the drug cartels in Mexico, the spirits of these giants, they get in people's flesh. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And they are behind a lot of this violence. Satan is the leader though. But they're organized against mankind, But we got to be strong and stick with the word of Yah and walk in obedience to it. Okay, Jubilees chapter 10, chapter 9, verse 14 to 15. And thus the sons of Noah divided for their children before Noah, their father, and he made them all swear an oath to curse each and every one who desired to seize a portion which did not come in his lot. And they all said, so be it, and so let it be to them and to their sons forever in their generations until the day of judgment in which the Adonai Elohim will judge them with the sword and with fire on account of all the evil of the population, of the pollution, of their errors, which have filled the earth with sin and pollution and fornication and transgression. So they all swore on an oath that for any person that stole land from somebody else, that it was not allotted to him, that they all agreed to that person and his offspring until the day of judgment, they will be cursed, by the judgment of Yah and fire. So there ain't no escaping that, just because you cry to white Jesus and say, I got Jesus, all everything is all right. Okay, don't believe the hypes. Don't believe the hypes. That fella don't even exist anyway. Okay, Jubilees chapter 10, verse 14. Jubilees chapter 10, verse 1 to 14. Okay, here we go. In the third week, now this is about Noah's prayer against the demons, okay? In the third week of that Jubilee, the polluted demons began to lead astray the children of Noah's sons and to lead them to folly and to destroy them. You see? You see that? These evil spirits, the spirits of these giants. And the sons of Noah came to Noah, their father, and they told him about the demons who were leading astray and binding and killing his grandsons, his grandchildren. And he prayed before the Adonai, his Elohim, and he said, Elohim of the spirits, which are in all flesh, Elohim of the spirits, which are in all flesh. See, these spirits can get in anybody's flesh. That's right. It was there's a whole lot of them. That 10%, you see all this violence in the world. The spirits of these giants are behind it, family, okay? And he prayed before the Adonai, his Elohim, and he said, Elohim of the spirits, which are in all flesh, who has acted mercifully with me and saved me and my sons from the water of the flood, and did not let me perish as you did the children of perdition, the children of sin, because great was your grace upon me, and great was your mercy upon my soul. Let your grace be lifted up upon my sons, and do not let the evil spirits rule over them, lest they destroy them from the earth. Okay. But bless me and my sons, and let us grow and increase and fill the earth. And you know that which your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, did in my days, and also these spirits who are alive. Shut them up and take them to the place of judgment, and do not let them cause corruption among the sons of your servants, O my Elohim, because they are cruel and were created to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living, because you alone know their judgments. And do not let them have power over the children of the righteous henceforth and forever. See, Noah prayed to the Father that they do not have power over the children of the righteous henceforth and forever. So they don't have power over us who are the chosen. Okay, we are the righteousness of Yahushua Mashiach. Okay, the binding of the 9/10 of the demons. So 9/10 got binded up and sent, to judgment, but the 10 part was allowed to stay. Check it out. And the Adonai Elohim spoke to us so that we might bind all of them. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came, and he said, "O Adonai, Creator, leave some of them for me, and let them obey my voice, and let them do everything which I tell them, because if some of them are not left for me, I will not be able to exercise the authority of my will among the children of men, because they are intended to corrupt and lead astray before my judgment, because the evil of the sons of men is great." And he said, "Let 1/10 of them remain before him, but let 9 parts go down into the place of judgment." So a 10 part, that's 10% of them was allowed to stay on the surface of the earth. And that's what comes against men and women in this world, to make us come against each other with violence, jealousy, envy, greed, covetousness. Okay, they are behind these things. They get in your flesh. When people walking in the carnal nature, those spirits that get right in you, you won't even know it. Okay, people sometimes, but be careful, family. Let's walk in the spirit of the word of Yah, keeping these commandments, keeping that Sabbath day holy. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no control over us. Sometimes we might be harassed in the world, but just like our ancestors, the 12 sons of Israel, they were influenced by those spirits too for a period. That's why they got together and sold Joseph to the Israelites. And then they took him out the pit, and then the Israelites sold him to the Egyptians. But it was because they was influenced. You can read that about that in the 12 patriots. Hold on, the Testament of the 12 patriarchs. That's why I read that at. And see, because they was part of Israel, Jacob, their father, they were part of the seed. Yah didn't let those spirits stay influenced in their minds. They were forgiven and they were delivered from those spirits. But Yah used what they did. He allowed the spirits to use them to get Joseph to Egypt, because he knew a famine was coming in the land of Canaan, and Joseph was going to already be there set up, and there to bless his family of Israelites once they got there. That was the intent of Yah, but his brothers did it for evil. But they was moved by these spirits, to make that happen. Okay? And then when they got older, they realized it, and they told their children before they died that they was influenced to hate Joseph. They was jealous of him because their father loved him the most. And they all was being influenced by some spirits, But, these spirits, sometimes, like when I was young, I joined a gang, not because I was a coward or nothing like that. No, when my mother got us out to foster home, we moved in this neighborhood, and a lot of the boys that had dropped out of school, I knew them from junior high school. They weren't in school no more, and they never saw me fight, I don't think. But they was like, "Man, man, won't you join us, man? You can fight, man. You got a lot of heart." I was 15 years old, so they asked me to be a part of that, and but as I became a believer, and I look back on my life, Satan was trying to cause me to be a part of all that kind of stuff, because he knew Yah had a calling on my life. He was trying to take me out before I even stepped into it. You know what I'm saying? But Yah, by the grace of Yah, life did a 180-degree turn. And I know a lot of y'all done went through some stuff, but you see where we at now, because we were chosen by him before the foundation of this world. That's why those spirits and the things that we used to do didn't have no control over us, no lock, because Yah's mercy delivered us, okay? So he get all the glory, honor, and praise for that. Okay, as I continue, family, okay? And he told one of us to teach Noah all of their healings, because he knew that they would not walk uprightly and would not strive righteously. And we acted in accord with all of his words. All of the evil ones who were cruel, who bound in one place of judgment. Okay, we bound in the place of judgment, but a tenth of them we let alone remain, so that they might be subject to Satan upon the earth. They were allowed to stay 10 parts. That's 10%. And all the healing of their illnesses, together with their seductions, we told Noah, so that he might heal by means of herbs of the earth. And Noah wrote everything in a book, just as we taught him, according to every kind of healing. And the evil spirits were restrained from following the sons of Noah. And he gave everything which he wrote to Shem, his oldest son, because he loved him much more than all of his sons. Because he knew that was going to be the seed where Yahushua Mashiach would come into the world, and that would, the seed of Shem was chosen. Okay, that was from the Father. That was his choice. So he's the creator. He chose the seed of Shem, and that's what he did. Nobody can kick up against it. If you do, it don't matter anyway, because it's like you see a sculpture, and he's got a hump of clay in front of him. The clay can't say to the sculpture what to do. It's the sculptor's, he's in charge. He do what he wants to do with the clay, but the clay is not in a position to tell the sculptor what to make. Okay, that same way with Yah in his creation. He do what he want to do. We ain't in no position to tell Yah what to do, because he is the creator. Whatever he decides, that's what goes. And people got a problem with, that's just too bad, because he is the creator. Okay. Now in closing, I'll be over here in the lost scriptures in the secret book of John. Remember, family, Israelite family, let's not be influenced by the evil in this world. And a lot of the evil in this world is coming from the spirits of those Nephilim giants. Okay? Well, we got to just know that. Okay? We got to know that. Getting in your feelings and stuff like that, they be behind all that. You know what I'm saying? They know who we are. Well, they know we the righteousness of Yah. They know we're going to be leading in this world in Jacob's kingdom when our Messiah sent back. So they hate us. They hate us. The spirits of them giants, they hate Israelites. That's why they always coming against us with other people, other nations, and they'll use us to come at each other too. So that's why we got to be aware and not war against each other. You know what I'm saying? But, and then if there is conflict, don't be too proud when you can't, squash stuff, Have mercy, Yeah. Okay, the secret book of John is not divided by chapters and verses and stuff like that. Okay, and I said to the Savior, Adonai, will all the souls then be brought safely into pure light? He answered and said to me, great things have arisen in your mind, for it is difficult to explain them to others except to those who are from the immovable race. The immovable race, you're calm all the time, incapable of being moved or diverted. Okay? Those on whom the Spirit of life, that's the Holy Spirit, will descend, and with whom he will be with the power. They will be saved and become perfect and be worthy of the greatness and be purified in that place from all wickedness and the involvements in evil. Okay? Then they have no other care than the incorruption alone. Incorruption, a glorified body coming, to which they direct their attention from here on, without anger, without envy, without jealousy or desire or greed. So we got to stay away from anger, envy, jealousy, desire, and greed of anything. See, the spirits of these giants, that's when people are operating in their flesh. When people are being moved by these emotions right here. Okay? I'm telling you, these spirits will get right in. Over there in the book of Jubilees, Noah said, he was talking to Elohim. He said, Elohim, the Elohim of all spirits, in this flesh. Those spirits, they get in anybody's flesh. They'll try to influence anybody they can. Okay? So we got to be mindful of this. Okay? We got to stay away from anger, envy, jealousy, desire, and greed of anything. They are not affected by anything except the state. We are not affected by anything except the state of being in the flesh alone. That's where we got to be, y'all. Which they bear while looking expectantly for the time when they will be met by the receivers of the body. That will be those angels, the good angels coming to get us. Such then are worthy of the imperishable glorified body, family. That's what we're trying to get. Eternal life and the calling. For they endure everything and bear up under everything, that they may finish the good fight and inherit eternal life. That's the goal, family. So we can't be moved by anything in this world to get us off our focus, and that is to get that glorified body. Don't be going back and forth with nobody, like you want to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're going to have some ins and outs about this, but don't let it get you angry where you want to hurt somebody, kill somebody. No, we can't be jealous of nobody. We can't be envious toward nobody, covetous toward nobody. That's desires, and greedy for anything in this world. And then I get all 5 of them. It said anger, envy, jealousy, desire, that would be covetousness and greed. So we got to stay away from those things, family, as the righteousness of Yahushua HaMashiach at the will of the Father. Okay, family, so that's what we're trying to wait to get. So we got to endure what we got to endure, but we can, keep each other strong. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. If you got something you need somebody to help you pray about, like y'all did me, I feel like a new man since this morning because of y'all prayers. And y'all answered y'all prayers because y'all are the effectual or fervent righteousness of Yahushua Mashiach. So I thank y'all for each and every last one of you. Each and every last one of you. May y'all bless you and your families, your homes, everything. Okay? So that's what we're trying to get. So let's not be moved by the evil in this world, family. Those Nephilim spirits, they try to get in your flesh and all kind of negative stuff. People looking at you like they want to kill you, don't even know you. That's something in them, those spirits. Just tune them out. Oh, well, I wasn't created for everybody to love me in this place. So you got to learn how to tune stuff out. You know what I'm saying? People like that. But since I, stood up to my coworker them weeks ago, we all cool now. Like I told you, I bet he don't bother me no more. He never seen that street. You know what I'm saying? But that's, it's like that old man, that's who we used to be. You know what I'm saying? But them spirits will use anybody to try to provoke you, family. But you got to stay wise and not be moved in your flesh where you'll strike somebody. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what we do no more. That ain't what we do no more. You know what I'm saying? But you can still talk. You know what I'm saying? You say, hey, let people know, hey, I'm a child of God. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't no punk. But anyway, family, so this has been Israelite family. Let's not be influenced by the evil in this world. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. I hope everybody was edified that watched the video and can get something out of it. So until next time, may Yah bless you and your families. Stay safe, one love, and shalom.